What if I told you the NBA we know right now, the championships, the dynasties, the GOATs, almost didn't happen the way it did? What if one phone call went differently? What if one injury never happened? What if one trade got blocked? The entire history of basketball changes, and that's what we're getting into today. The biggest what-ifs in NBA history. We are starting here, because this one is still fresh, and it still stings. The 2021 Brooklyn Nets. They had three superstars, Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving. Three of the 10 best players on planet Earth, on the same roster, in the same city, at the same time. And do you know how many games they actually played together? 16. 16 games out of a possible 72 that regular season. That's it. That's all they got. And it gets even worse. In the playoffs against the Milwaukee Bucks, the Big Three played together for a grand total of 43 seconds. 43 seconds in the whole series. Harden's hamstring blew up in Game 1, Kyrie sprained his ankle in Game 4, and KD, being KD, dropped 49 points in Game 7 to carry all of Brooklyn on his back by himself and came with literal inches of a game-winning three. His foot was on the line. It couldn't have gotten worse for this team. And then, the Bucks went on to win the championship. Now, think about what a healthy Nets Big Three actually looks like. Durant averaging 27 points, Kyrie Irving at 50, 40, 90 averages, Harden averaging 24 points and 11 assists per game. That's three guys who can each go over 40 points on any given night. Does a healthy Brooklyn Nets team beat the Bucks? Almost certainly yes. Do they go on to win the 2021 championship? I genuinely think so. And the wildest part? The dysfunction didn't even stop there. The next season, Kyrie can't play home games because of the New York's vaccine mandate. Durant goes down with an MCL sprain, and James Harden forces a trade to Philly. The whole thing falls apart in slow motion. KD himself looked back on the whole era and used one word to describe it: dysfunction. One of the greatest super teams ever assembled, and they played together for a measly 16 games. You wanna know what the record was in those 16 games? 13-3. That's not a what if, that's a tragedy. July 4th, 2016, Independence Day. Kevin Durant posts a big blog in the Players Tribune. He's going to Golden State, and the NBA lost its mind. Because Golden State had just beaten OKC in the Western Conference Finals. They came back from down 3-1, blew a 3-1 lead, and then their best player walks over to the team that just beat him. What if Durant stays in OKC? Think about what Oklahoma City had. Durant, Westbrook, Harden. They had pieces, real pieces. Do Durant and Westbrook figure it out? Do they finally coexist the right way in the playoffs? Probably. Here's what I know for certain. Without Durant, Golden State does not win 4 championships. They probably win 2, maybe 3, if everything breaks right. But they don't become the most dominant dynasty of the modern era without KD walking through their front door. And Durant, in OKC, he becomes something completely different. He becomes the guy who stayed, who built something the hard way, who earned it, instead of the guy who took the shortcut. And look, I know that debate never ends, but here's the thing nobody can actually argue with. The NBA was more electric when Durant was in OKC, when there was a real villain and a real hero, when the Western Conference felt like an actual war every single night. The day Durant went to Golden State, the competitive balance of the entire league shifted, and it took years to come back. April 28th, 2012. Chicago Bulls. First round of the playoffs against Philadelphia. Game 1. Final minute. Bulls up big. Derrick Rose drives left, pulls up, and his knee just gives out. ACL. Gone. And I need you to understand who Derrick Rose was at this exact moment. Not who he became after. Not the version we saw trying to come back. The version before that moment. The youngest MVP in NBA history. He won that award at just 22 years old. 22! After averaging 25 points and 7 assists and playing defense. Fast in a way that seemed physically illegal. There was genuinely nobody in the league who could stay in front of him when he was locked in. And then that knee buckled. What if it never happens? A healthy Derrick Rose at his absolute peak, with Joakim Noah, Luol Deng on the wing, Tom Thibodeau grinding every team into dust, that team beats LeBron's Heat. I said what I said. I believe a fully healthy Derrick Rose in 2012 beats Miami in the playoffs. Maybe not the championship that year. The Heat were loaded. Bosh and Wade were both elite, but a healthy Bulls squad with prime Rose gives them a real series. And then, what does this league look like if Rose builds on that? If he stays healthy? If Chicago actually builds the right supporting cast around him? Does Rose become the best player on a championship team? We'll never know. Because it wasn't age, it wasn't a bad trade, it was a decision he made. It was one drive to the basket, one moment, and everything changed. He should have been on the bench at that time. The Bulls had that game locked up, and that's the cruelest kind of what-ifs there is. This one doesn't get talked about enough. March of 2021, Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James is 36 years old and playing some of the best basketball of his career. The Lakers are defending champs. They have AD. They have real depth. They are built to repeat. And then Atlanta Hawks guard Solomon Hill starts guarding LeBron, and then LeBron goes down. High ankle sprain. LeBron misses 21 games, and by the time he came back, the Lakers had fallen completely apart. They went from contenders to a play-in team. They lost to Phoenix in the first round. Season over. But here's the part that actually haunts me. LeBron himself, years later, admitted to ESPN that he never fully physically recovered from that moment. He said his foot and ankle ain't been the same since. That he's been fighting uphill ever since just to get back to normal. That's not just a lost playoff run. That's the beginning of the end of peak LeBron, because he genuinely could have won MVP that year. Think about what the healthy 2021 Lakers look like. LeBron and Anthony Davis both locked in. That team, fully healthy, is a serious threat to repeat. Maybe they beat Phoenix. Maybe they go further. Maybe LeBron gets ring number 5. And maybe, just maybe, LeBron's body holds up better in the years that follow. Instead, we got a version of LeBron who's been managing injuries and playing through pain ever since. Still great. Still one of the best players alive. But not what he could have been. All because of Solomon Hill. Every single one of these what-ifs changed the NBA forever. An injury here, a free agency decision made in 15 minutes that took 15 years to live with, and a falling apart big three. That's what makes this sport so special. And so painful. Because nothing is guaranteed. Not health, not loyalty, not the next game. So, the next time you watch a game, remember, you're watching history that hasn't been written yet. You are watching the what-ifs before they are what-ifs. So don't take a single second of it for granted. That's all I got. See you in the next one. Peace.